And as I mentioned, not just folks inside the center part of the protest area, but there are folks just lining the sidewalks around City Hall, wearing costumes, holding signs. Since the last No Kings protest that happened back in June, there's been a lot of development when it comes to immigration and the ICE raids that a lot of folks here are protesting about. A lot of the signs that we're seeing actually directly talk about ICE and immigration. You can see one of those signs out here right now saying, "I emigrated from a country." And again, out here you can see a lot of people abolish ICE signs, people calling Trump a clown and a king of clowns. So far, we haven't seen too many profane signs, which is a good thing. But of course, as Michelle was mentioning, and Devon, you mentioned this too, we can't always control what people bring to rallies, so there are some of those signs out here. But for the most part, everyone is trying to make their voices heard in the most respectful way that they can. A lot of folks bringing out their kids and their family members as well. You can see them out here lining the sidewalks. As we were talking about, this is one of several demonstrations planned throughout the country. In fact, one of more than 2,500 demonstrations planned today in major cities across the country. In Houston here, this of course is the largest rally in our area. But there are a lot of folks here who say that they wanted to make sure they came out here, even on a Saturday, even on a pretty warm Saturday for October, to make sure that they were here. We made our way back around to this front section. I want to bring in someone who I talked to a bit earlier, so just give me a moment here. We have Priscilla here. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
You told me that you were out here in June, so talk to us about what brought you back out here today.
Well, things have gotten worse, not better. So I'll keep coming out here until something changes.
And with you being out here and with all these folks being out here, what's the big message that you want people watching this or seeing this as they pass by to take away?
That in a democracy, people have an equal voice. And I don't think any of us do right now. And so I feel like everybody's really pissed off, and that's why they're out here. I mean, I see people as young and as old, the whole spectrum, and everybody feels the same way. This is no longer just like a minority of people. It's not the old hippies that everybody's talking about. It's everybody, a majority of people. And it makes me really proud to be a Houstonian and to be a Texan.
And back in June, I believe it was something like 15,000 people that showed up. There are obviously several thousand people here right now, and we know that there are going to be more people coming throughout the evening. Are you expecting to see as big of a crowd, maybe even bigger this time around?
Based on all my friends, I'm actually a professor at the University of Houston, and I've told all my students to come. I think we have more momentum this time around in June. I think people were still just trying, getting used to the idea of protest, because it's kind of new to us in this country. And I think now people realize that we don't really have a choice, because we're losing our country. We might as well fight for it.
And as I was walking around, I was seeing a lot of people obviously holding their signs. You have your own sign here. Talk to me about kind of the decision to make this sign, what this stands for you.
I wanted to talk about democracy because I feel like that's kind of getting lost in the conversation. The idea that we're a democratic country and that people have a say in what is happening. And I feel like this is a voice that we're giving today to democracy. And so I wanted to include democracy on my sign, but also go with the No Kings theme, because I feel like Trump is acting like a king, and we're trying to push that away and say, no, this is a democratic country, and we belong here too.
Priscilla, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Priscilla, again, is just one of many people who have been out here today, who were back out here back in June, who say that, things have just gotten worse and they want to make sure that their voices continue to be heard. We, of course, are going to stay out here and talk to several more protesters who are out here at the No Kings demonstration here in front of City Hall. But for now, Devon, we're going to send it back to you.
Orko, great coverage there outside of City Hall. I can definitely tell that there are way more people than there were in June, and I know the turnout in June was like 15,000 people. I want to ask you real quick, Orko, though, before I let you go, have you seen any counter protesters outside there at City Hall?
Yeah, Devon, that's something that I was looking for, because, again, anytime there is a big demonstration, regardless of what side of the political spectrum you're on, there is bound to be potentially other people on the other side. But so far, walking around the City Hall Annex and City Hall area, we have not seen any folks who are counter-protesting, anyone holding any signs that are counter-protesting. For the most part, everyone is here for this specific reason, for the No Kings protest. So again, at this point, we haven't really seen any counter-protests, just a lot of people here protesting against Trump and the presidency, just trying to make their voices heard. We were looking again, like I said, looking for people who were potentially counter-protesting, but at this point we haven't. Again, just a lot of folks here holding their signs, talking about the Trump regime, as they call it, and again, a lot of police out here just to make sure that nothing happens, just because, you never can tell when something could become volatile. But as Michelle mentioned, for the most part, Houston rallies and protests tend to stay relatively peaceful, as we saw back in June, and so that's definitely the case here as so far as right now. But for your question, in terms of counter-protesters, we've not seen any at this point.
All right, Orko Manna, our eyes and ears on the ground there outside of City Hall this afternoon. Orko, thank you so much.